Coachella Valley, and welcome to Live with Your Chamber. I'm your host, Katie Stice, CEO at the Rancho Mirage Chamber of Commerce, and I hope you're doing well today. I know we sent out quite a bit of information yesterday about changes, and that's been the constant, right, throughout this entire time is change. So thanks for your patience as we continue to send out updates. And part of what we're going to be talking about today is taking care of yourself during this time and taking care of others during this time and learning new ways to cope and probably some pretty powerful statistics as well. So let's bring our guest out. And if you are watching, please give a hello. Let us know where you're watching from. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below in the comments, and we will do our best either to answer them live or we can follow up with you after the live, and Holly can reach out to you directly. But speaking of Holly, let's bring out our guest today, Holly Chase. You probably already know her in the community. She is outreach coordinator with American Addiction Centers. Holly, welcome. How are you today?
Good. Thank you for having me, Katie. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Happy that you're here. And you and I have talked offline quite a bit about the health of our community. We know that things are really scary right now for a lot of people, and it's affected the health of our community in a big way, and it's affected addiction in a big way. So I know we have a lot to discuss, but tell me first a little bit about yourself, the industry that you're in, and a little bit about American Addiction Centers.
Okay, I'm Holly Chase. I am an outreach coordinator for American Addiction Centers. What that is I help people to get into treatment. I answer any questions. I'm available as sort of the liaison or triage, as it would be. If someone has anxiety, needs to know what the treatment's all about, what it's going to look like, has questions about, like, can I bring my cell phone? If I need to explain our programs to other treatment centers or to hospitals or anybody who we might have a program that they don't, that's me. So I take a lot of the angst out of treatment and make people feel comfortable. By the way, I'm an expert in treatment, having been 3 times about 14 years ago. So American Addiction Centers is a very well-known company. We do have everything from dual diagnosis centers, which has a lot of mental health components, to an actual hospital. There are only 5 hospital-rated treatment centers in California, and our hospital in Laguna is a 98-bed hospital. So we can do acute detoxes with people with a lot of special needs. Sorry.
Great. That's okay. That's okay.
Myself, I am a certified addiction counselor, certified in CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, anxiety and trauma, mindfulness, and I am also a certified life coach and sober coach.
Wow. And I think that's why when I see you out in the community, I'm always thinking you're such a ray of hope, and you're so open and you're so easy to talk to. And that's such a big component, I know, of what you do. And it's been interesting to talk with you these past few months about what we're seeing in the community. Can you tell us a little bit about that increase that you're seeing ever since really the start of COVID back in March?
I mean, the biggest shock is that people that are already committed to sobriety, they're in recovery, we have a 30% relapse rate since March. Mostly, it's really, times are tough, but a lot of that has to do with also isolation, and there's not a lot of available in-person meetings because of COVID. So meetings are the cornerstone of sobriety. So, I always went to the same meetings, the same days, sat in the same chair every week. It's, part of my routine, ingrained in my, the livelihood of sobriety. And, interacting with other addicts, alcoholics is key. So when I'm a recovering alcoholic, 14 years, doesn't have communication with others, to run things by, our minds get a little out of control. So that's a huge change. It's, it's a big part of our recovery. So that's really sad, really sad. Zoom meetings are nice, but they're not the same.
That's right. And what should people really be looking for in themselves or in others to maybe see some warning signs? Because as you and I have also talked before, there could be folks who maybe were just casual drinkers, and now it's becoming more and more. So tell us a little bit about maybe what to look for, some warning signs when we know that either we ourselves need to get that help, or we know we need to have a conversation with a loved one or a friend.
Well, one is the obsession to drink. What if you wake up in the morning, you're like, I can't wait till it's 5, or then maybe it's 3, and then maybe it's lunch. Isolating and drinking alone. There's some startling statistics on people who are now remotely working, and it's very easy to have a Zoom meeting and have a drink. And people who are high energy, high tone, used to going out and having a lot of camaraderie in the office and that energy, they're bored. They just don't have enough stimulation. And was so with me. They're bored. They need something. So they just, self-soothe, self-medicate. If a person is doing that, you really need to look at that. Really need to look at how far it's gone.
Okay. And are there tips that you have for folks who are, we really all are struggling. This is hard on everyone, and I don't think there's anyone that's immune. Do you have just tips for people that are out there who, might just need to hear from you some words of wisdom about things that they can do, ideas? Do you have some tips for folks?
Yes. First of all, an alcoholic doesn't have to look like an alcoholic. So, you look in the mirror, and I looked in the mirror and said, well, I'm not a guy living under a bridge. It's a disease. It doesn't play favorites. It's, not a behavioral. It's not shameful. So reach out and talk to someone. Psychologist, call me.
I'm going to put your number right up there.
My number's right there. And ask the questions. There's no shame before it's too late. Also, you could go anonymously, that was easy for me to say, onto an AA Zoom meeting. If you go to aainthedesert.org, there's a listing by city, by day, by time, and all the usernames and passwords are in there. So you could just not show your picture if you wanted, and just listen to other people's stories and see if you can identify with what's going on with them. I think that would be a very good tool.
I love that idea, by the way. And you and I talked earlier today, and you mentioned it, and I thought that is something that maybe was not available before when everything was in person. And so I love the idea that someone can go on and just, maybe they're a little bit worried about something they're seeing or that they're doing, and they can go on and listen and be a part of it, see for themselves very quietly. There's a way to learn, which I appreciate you sharing that information. Thank you. But go ahead. I know you had more.
Well, it's also a really good time to take stock of your goals and what you might be passionate about. Like, it's an excellent time. We all have a little bit more time on our hands. Perhaps you've always wanted to take up a hobby. Perhaps you've always wanted to woodwork or start knitting or, anything like that. Go down to Michael's and cruise the aisles and say, I've always wanted to start painting, scrapbooking. I'm doing that right now. Seriously, it's a really good time to start doing something you've always wanted to do. Write, journal. These are crazy times. Journaling is a very healthy thing to do. We also have so much here in the desert. Walking, hiking, biking, golfing, all those things are still all open. And we're very fortunate that we can do all of those things.
Those are really great. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I have been playing Zoom games.
Yeah.
They live far away. So on a Sunday afternoon, we all go on to Zoom and they pick them out and we play games so we can see each other and we play games together. So it brings family in, and it's really fun. So,
I like that a lot.
mhm.
So, if someone were to contact you, and I have heard the numbers and the increase in addiction and abuse, and there's just so much that's happening right now, and which is why I'm so happy you've made yourself available in the community, but especially with this interview to talk about it. If someone were to call you and was ready for those next steps, what does that look like for someone?
That looks like they call me
Mhm.
and we discuss what's happening. They tell me their story.
Okay.
What is going on with you? How long have you been drinking? Decide if it really is a problem. You
Yeah.
know, um, and be truthful. It's a confidential. I'm
Mhm.
licensed. Everything's confidential line, and we discuss what treatment looks like.
Oh, it's okay.
Sorry. We discuss what that would look like, and if they would like, we take their insurance.
Oh my.
We started a new rescue. One
It's
half of it is 2 cents. We discuss what treatment would look like. I
yeah.
answer any questions. Then my inside partner would call and take like an assessment of
Okay.
their history,
Okay.
health history, and then we basically arrange transportation and we take them. We pick them up.
And how long does someone go for? I mean,
That varies. That varies by the
okay.
length of use and the amount they're using and the drug they're using.
Oh, got
Some
it.
people just need to come and do a detoxification, which is like 5 to 7 days. Some people would need to go to one of our programs that's up to 60 days. Titrate down from
Okay.
residential to an IOP, which means you
Okay.
live there, but you only go from 9 to 2 or something. So it really
Okay.
depends. I mean, if you've been drinking for 20 years all day, it's going to take a little while to get your head back on. So,
That's right.
I think, you
That's
know,
right.
you can leave at any time.
Right.
We also are
Right.
very COVID.
And
Um, we
mhm.
have our own labs. We take the person for the first day and we isolate them in the beautiful room. Our rooms are beautiful, like a hotel, and
Mhm.
bring them their food. They'll be by themselves for the first day or two until the results come back with the labs there, so that we can keep
Okay.
everybody else safe.
Oh, well, I just appreciate you coming on and really talking so openly and honestly about warning signs, what to look for, what the experience is like, because it shouldn't be a hush hush thing. We need to talk about it. I would love to have you and some of the other teams we've had on before come on and continue this conversation as we hear bad news. And I know you and I have also talked about this before, where sometimes we'll see like on Facebook or something, because we're friends there, how people are really joking all the time about, oh, I'm gonna need, you can put, wine in your tea glass, and no one's gonna know. And there's a lot of these jokes that are happening, and some of them make me worried and cringe a little bit, because I'm thinking, is that, is it more than a joke sometimes? And so I do get worried. And that's why I'm so glad that you're here and talking with us. And one of the last things I wanted to ask you is, you're just such a gentle soul and such a beautiful person. And why did you choose this career? What's your why to do this every day?
I was a 30-year mortgage banker, and I've been in recovery for several years, and it chose me. I just decided to go to night school and get my certification, and then when I did my internship, I fell in love with doing this, and ended up really wanting to spend all my time helping other people. It was so rewarding, and I just came home so lit up every time I would do
Yeah.
one of my internship. That's Batman.
Yeah.
um, so I think it just picked me. It was like a God shot. I
Yeah.
felt like it would be. I would, at the end of the day, I feel like I'd really accomplished something. And
Yeah.
I've been blessed working at Betty Ford and
Hmm.
Hope Hospital. I've been blessed with the best employers, and my career has done really well.
Aw.
It's a beautiful area.
I'm thrilled to hear it. And when you say, you wanted to make a difference and an impact, I know that you have throughout this community. And when you say that it was something that lit you up, I mean, that shines through when we see you either on social media or in person dropping by hand sanitizer gifts for us. And so, Holly, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on and talking about this really important subject matter today. Promise to come back and share more. And just thank you so much for all that you do. We appreciate you.
Thank you. We appreciate you. And I think the opportunity. And please, if you are having any kind of doubts about your drinking or using of any substance, call. I would be happy and honored to have a conversation with you.
And for everyone who's out there watching, Holly's email is there, her phone number is there, the website is there. She's got amazing resources, and now is the best time to reach out and have this type of conversation. And as you can see, she's a wealth of knowledge, and she's absolutely wonderful. So thank you for joining us today, Holly. We appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
So much.
Take care, my friend.
You too.
And thank you so much for joining us today for Live with Your Chamber. We're here to help in a multitude of ways. We talk with businesses throughout the Valley. We talk about topical items, keeping you up to date on what's happening. And if there's a way that I can help you professionally or help your business, please don't hesitate to let me know. That's what your Chamber of Commerce is here for. And if you would like to come on to Live with Your Chamber and share a little bit, please just let me know. We do share member information. And the reason this series started was because the community, you could tell, especially back March, April, when everything was closing down or closed down, they really wanted to get to know the community better. So that's why we're here. We'll look forward to seeing you again next time. Hope you all stay well and be in touch. Take care.